Hello, welcome to the James Cooley Show. It's your life, and I'm your host, Dr. James JC Cooley. And I, you know, I am so excited to be doing this show today. I got somebody that's very, very special to me and Michelle, and hopefully it's gonna be very special to you all as well. And this young man has grown over the last few years, and had to make some tough decisions on which direction he wanted to go in. But I tell you. I am so proud of this young man that I wanted him to come on and share his story with us all. So, regardless of where you're watching the show at, whether you're watching on E360 TV, whether you're watching it on YouTube Live, YouTube channels, whether you're watching it on Facebook, LinkedIn, and over 20 plus others live streaming networks, you can also be part of this conversation by just going to the comments portion and just asking this young man, and then I'm going to tell you who it is in a minute, any question that you want, and also just join in on the conversation. I hope everybody had a wonderful, wonderful weekend. And I got to bring on my absolutely wonderful executive producer and co-host, Michelle Cooley. How are you doing today, Michelle?
I'm doing great. Obviously, you're doing great today. You're excited about the guest today, and so am I. Had a great weekend and just looking forward to the show today.
I'm looking forward to the show. Actually, Michelle, I'm looking forward to the show all week. You want to give our listeners and our viewers just a quick recap of the shows that we got coming on this week.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll start with tomorrow because we'll tell the audience who we have on today. But tomorrow we have head coach Eric Cooper on the show. Wednesday, me and you going to be recapping September, the month of September's, the number of guests we've had on the show and the specific topics they discuss. And Thursday, we have Albert R. Renteria on the show, retired Marine Corps. So we just have a great lineup this week.
We got an absolutely great lineup this week, and I tell you, uh, join us tomorrow. We on everything: radio, podcast, the whole nine yards, TV, and all week we just having fun. We're just enjoying it. So, Michelle, I'm excited about the show today. Can you please tell our viewers and our listeners the title of the show, the purpose, and also introduce this great young man to our viewers?
Yes, the title of the show is A Young Man's Point of View. Joshua A. Cooley, United States Navy and musician. And the purpose is getting to know third class petty officer and musician Joshua A. Cooley and talk about how his life experiences led him to join the United States Navy. We're going to talk about his musical career and discuss his future plans and endeavors. So let's talk a little bit about Joshua Cooley. Joshua A. Cooley was born in Misawa, Japan. He's a third-class petty officer in the United States Navy. He'll be spending most of his first year in the Navy on a ship in the Atlantic Ocean. He attended California State Poly Pomona. Prior to college and the United States Navy, Joshua completed 4 years of junior ROTC in high school. He has a deep compassion for music and has composed over 100 songs, primarily for movie trailers. He has worked and dedicated many years working with the JC Cooley Foundation. Joshua has been on over several mission trips overseas and field trips to the Museum of Tolerance. He has volunteered at numerous JC Cooley Foundation Youth Inspirational Leadership Breakfast Program. This breakfast program was instrumental in serving over 10,000 plus youth and young adults that ensured that today's youth and young adults are prepared to tackle the tomorrow's challenges. The James Cooley Show, It's Your Life, welcomes Joshua A. Cooley to the show.
How
Hello.
you doing? How you doing, son? How you doing today?
I'm doing good. I'm glad I'm able to actually come on the show now.
It's an absolute pleasure having you on the show, son, and just watching you grow and mature over the last, I say your whole life, but I'm talking about especially the last few years. And I'm excited that the growth and some of the decisions that you have made it are paying off right now, in, college, military. And I know you got mad at me a few times for encouraging you to stay in ROTC 4 years. But it paid off on interest in the Navy. You come in as an E3, and less than 5 months later, you're an E4. And if you do the right thing, you might be able to top me
Yes, sir.
over a career. So I want you to start off. Just tell our viewers and our listeners a little bit more about you, where you was born, and you know,
Okay.
all right, you
Okay.
got
So all right. So I was born in Misawa, Japan. Um, After that, came to Hawaii and then to Texas and started living with going back and forth with you and my mom. It was nice growing up, going to see you every summer. That was really nice. I like doing that. Then lived in Texas. Um, it was my childhood for the most part. It was really nice. I'm glad I had both experience from what you taught me and my mom taught me. It was really good. And then moved with you after graduated high school because I wanted to pursue college, and you gave me the opportunity to go to college. So uh, yeah.
Wow. So, Josh, what is the best word that describes you and why?
Um, I would say resilient because even though there's a lot of things that happen, a lot of obstacles that happen to me, I just never been the type to just give up or just stop doing. If I want to pursue something, I'm gonna continue to do it.
Wow. So, as a 25-year-old, you are part of what we call Generation Z. Basically, with this generation is generally more open-minded in a lot of aspects than the older generations are not able to accept. And it's important to Generation Z that they feel that their voice is heard. Does Generation Z, the description, does it fit you to the T? Are you more open-minded? If so, how? If not, why not?
I would say I'm open minded. Um, yeah. I would say it does fit me to not. I'm not gonna say to the T, but
Mhm.
for the most part, I am a part of this generation, so I believe that I have many characteristics that fall into this generation. Um,
Yeah, well,
yeah.
this Generation Z, the guys are mostly tech savvy. Do you consider yourself tech savvy?
Uh, yes, I would, especially with the rate that I have in the Navy. Kind of have to be.
Oh, okay. So now you talked earlier about your parents. You were raised by both parents.
Mhm.
Can you tell us what values did your parents instill in you growing up that you live by today?
Okay. I would say respect. I'm well, yeah. I would say respect. I can't. I can't. I am always like have to respect people. Other values, integrity, definitely integrity. Integrity, respect. And I would say those two mainly: honor, integrity, and respect.
Wow. Were there lessons that as a child, as a young man, or a teenager growing up that maybe you didn't quite understand, but now you understand that, hey, these things were said for my benefit or these things were taught for my benefit. And can you kind of just give an example or two?
Oh yes, this is on Dad. I remember the room inspections, the room inspections that he would do. He would stand outside. No, I would have to stand outside my door, clean my room, and he would inspect me. He would still be in his uniform, going in and inspecting my room, and that's actually what happened while I was in A school and boot camp. So I just remembered all that. So whenever that happened, I just flashback to the time when you used to do that, Dad, and
oh.
it was yeah, it
You
was nice.
know, so what are you talking about, our viewers, is even when I had gotten out and I had him in ROTC, had him doing all these things, everything was still strictly military bearing, military focus. I'm talking about because the military, you don't have to be in the military to understand that there is an order and there is things that we need to make habit because those are life habits that we inherited and it helps us out in all of the things that we are doing in life. And so now, Josh, you are in the military, you see these things. And I remember the time where I think you was in the 8th grade and I sent you to Devil Pup boot camp.
Yes, sir. Yes,
You
sir.
one of the youngest, probably the youngest. I think you were right around 14, not sure. But I sent you to the Marine Camp boot camp.
Yes,
And
sir.
normally it's about 10 weeks, but they pack 10 weeks into two. Can you tell us what did you learn from that and how did that help you out in what you're doing today?
So a lot of the things that happened in that 2 week boot camp, it was very physically intense, but at the same time, we had to get stuff down almost immediately. So I was able to learn very fast when it came to the Marine Corps boot camp, mentally, physically, and that's what really helped me a long run. That helped me with ROTC. That helped me with drill. That helped me with Navy boot camp. A lot of the things that I've fell back on in Navy boot camp ROTC, I had to thank the devil pups that you sent me to. It really helped in the long run.
Wow. Josh, both of your parents were in the United States Navy. Did this influence your decision to join the military, or you came to that decision on your own without any influence? Can you kind of tell us a little bit about that?
Yes. So yes, both my parents were in the Navy, and yes, that was a major influence. I remember back when I was in middle school, they had a career day when they had the high schoolers from the ROTC. They came to tell us about the ROTC program, and that's what really made me want to join. And having the knowledge that both my parents were in the military, I just wanted to pursue that. So yeah, I want to always join the military.
Wow. I tell you, we're going to have to take a station break, but we're going to come back and we're going to continue this great discussion with Joshua Alexander Cooley. If you want to be part of this great conversation, all you have to do is just go to the comment section and log in, ask this man any question that you want to. It's your life. We'll see you shortly after the break.
Really get a chance to know who you are. And once you know who you are, you truly know who you are, love who you are. Love who you are. You're a masterpiece. Love who you are. Love who you were born to be. Love me some me. That's what I'm talking about. When you leave high school, you gotta know today or tomorrow, hopefully today, what your plans are. Hopefully, there is no bad decision unless there is no plan. Create, collaborate, commit with confidence. Commit with what? Commit with what? And everything that you do.
Doctor James JC Cooley, the James Cooley Show. It's your life.
Hello, welcome back to the James Cooley Show. It's your life, and today's guest is my youngest son, Joshua Alexander Cooley. And I tell you, I'm just so proud of the things that he is doing and the path that he chose. Because many of us as parents, we always want to see our kids go in the direction that we are going in, or choose a direction that is going to benefit and help them out in life. And I believe that this young man right here made the right decision. A lot of times it was a learning experience, trials and tribulations, but I'm so proud that he's there. And so, son, I'm proud of you.
Thank you, Dad.
Josh, what was it like in boot camp, and what did you learn during your, I think, 10 weeks in boot camp, I believe? And can you, I mean, every time we hear about boot camp, we assume it's hard, but was it what you imagined it would be, or was it harder?
Um, I I imagine boot camp physically. I imagine it being a little harder, but the physical portion wasn't the hardest part. It was really mainly the mental portion. Was it? Believe it or not, um, whenever we had to wait very long, whenever we had to stand at attention for long periods of time, was the hardest part for me. It just, I don't know. There's something about not doing anything. Kind of, it just kind of gets at your mind a little bit, but uh, yeah, I didn't really I imagine boot camp being a bit it was a bit it was a lot different than I expected to. It was a lot different. It was a lot more technical. Navy boot camp. I thought it would be more physical since my background was with the devil pups, so I thought it was just gonna be devil pups but longer. But the Navy boot camp, you had to actually study. You actually have to. Yeah, there's a little more that you have to do, in my opinion.
Wow. So I see we got a question, and I'm sure that you are not aware of a 106-50 veterans entrepreneurs. You're not aware of that yet.
No,
I
sir.
think that's something that you might want to become aware of later on as you develop your plan in the military. Okay, Josh. So even though you've been in the Navy, yeah, I say less than you've been in the Navy 6 months, and you came in, you are what we call a push button. That means that you're three pay grades probably ahead of most of your peers. Um, what have you learned being promoted so early, getting ready to go to a ship where you are going to be forced to be a leader? Did Have you thought about all of the training over the last 10 years? I'm talking about Devil Pup. I'm talking about 4 years of ROTC, and I'm talking about the lessons that you just learned through boot camp. How you think that's going to help you out, or what type of mindset did that kind of give you, knowing that you got to be a leader as soon as you get aboard the ship?
Yes, I observed the ways that my instructors and my leaders, the way that they were teaching, they're instructing. So I think by understanding the way how they would do things, or the way that how they would go about doing things, because they obviously did something right for them to be in that position. So I was just observing them to see how they would do, how they would go about instructing people. So I would do that. I'll take notes from them. I would do that.
So why don't you tell our viewers and our listeners what lessons have you learned from yourself
Hmm.
right now after watching your dad and your mom do careers in the Navy, us instilling things in you that you probably didn't, because you ain't never said you were going in the military. I mean, truthfully, since you there already, you saw
Hmm.
most of it. Can you tell our viewers what some of the lessons that you have learned? I know Michelle brought it up a few minutes ago. That's going to guide you
Hmm.
in being the best possible soldier that you can be, or
Hmm.
sailor. That all of them are the same.
Okay, so the best some lessons that I've learned. Um, I would still say just I would say I would still be resilient when it comes to that. I would still pursue. I would still be very attentive to detail. That's what they taught us in boot camp. Um, but yeah, mainly focusing on the little things that go above and beyond. That's what I would do.
So knowing that you're gonna be heading to the Atlantic Ocean real soon,
Hmm.
or just tell us, are you nervous? Are you excited? Well, just where you at?
I'm actually very excited to go on the ship. I wanted to get I want to get the certain type of ship that I wanted, so I'm very excited to go to the fleet. Honestly, I want to really learn my rate, and I figured that it would be the best for me to while I'm on the ship to learn as much as I can.
Okay, so we got a good friend of mine, Al, asked you what is beyond the horizon as you see it, meaning that how you do you want to go? What do you want to do as it relate to military and in your civilian life?
Well, because I already had the because I already have some college credits and ROTC, I think it's best if I pursue the officer route. In my opinion, I think I should. That's what I'm. When it comes to the military, that's what would like to pursue. When it comes to the my civilian, I'm still gonna continue to make music for film trailer companies. So yeah, that's for both parts.
We got another friend of mine asking you, does he think social media is the reason for a lot of the youth acting out or chasing clout? So can you
I
answer that for?
I think that's a little bit of reason because a lot of people, especially on Instagram, they see how their people are living. They have a persona that they have, and people get influenced by that, and they try to do the most. But uh, yeah, I think a lot of people getting. I'm not gonna really say inspired, but what's the word I'm looking for? Influenced.
It is a big influence because of social media. Okay, so over the last 20 plus years, I have bought you almost every instrument. It is. Can you tell our viewers and our listeners about your music career, some of the instruments you played, and we're gonna let them listen to some of your music on the next segment. But can you get it started, and then we're gonna take a break, and we're gonna come back, and you get an opportunity to explain some of your music. We'll let them listen to some.
Yes, sir. Okay, so the main instrument I play is the drum set. I played a drum set since I was in middle school. So that was my first instrument I started out, and once I got good at that, I want to expand to more instruments. So I learned the piano, then I tried the guitar and so on, and then I learned how to actually write music myself. So once I started learning how to write for other instruments, I began composing. So I took many years for me to learn. I'm still not, in my opinion, not perfect. I'm not perfect at that, but I even want to pursue a music degree in college, and that taught me a lot about music itself. So I just use a lot of my knowledge and I just put it into my songs that I create, that I compose.
Okay, so what we're gonna do now? We're gonna take a station break, but we're gonna come back and we're gonna let the audience listen to some of your music, and we want you to explain what was in your mind, in your mindset when you wrote that particular song, and just tell them the type music that you write. So we're gonna take a station break, but we're gonna come back. And if you want to be part of this conversation, all you have to do is go to the comment section. Ask this young man any question you want to. It's your life. I'm Dr. James JC Cooley. We'll be back shortly after the break. Hello. Hey, I'm James Cooley. I am the founder and CEO of the JC Cooley Foundation, Options, Opportunities, Lasting Choice Program. Our primary mission is to help build a foundation of our youth and young adults and communities. And we encourage everyone to dream big, think big, and be big at everything you do. And the way that you do that is, first of all, you got to believe in yourself. You have to believe in yourself. You have to know that you are here for a purpose. You also have to be able to step out your comfort zone and do things that you probably didn't think that you can do.
I never wanna leave. Yeah, I'm right where I wanna be. We got something you and me, and I can't get rid of this feeling. Just like a magnet, we're just like a magnet. The things we have can be taken for granted. Now I know that it has always been you. I can't help it, I'm so drawn to you. Just like a magnet, we're just like a magnet. The things we have can be taken for granted. Now I know that it has always been you. I can't help it, I'm so drawn to you. Hey, I'm so drawn to you. I'm so drawn to you. Yeah, yeah.
Hello, welcome back to the James Cooley Show. It's your life, and again, I got my youngest my youngest son here, Joshua Cooley, that just telling us about a young man point of view. He's in the Navy, went in the Navy about 6 months ago, and I just like I told him, I believe that's the best decision that he had made so far. And we just had him in 4.5, 5 years of college, and he still need about 3 classes to finish that up. But he sees now that it would be very beneficial to finish that up so you can go down the officer route. So we're gonna talk about your music, Josh, and Big Al is asking, how has music influenced your decision making process? So, can you answer that question?
So the decision making process when it comes to the music or to life.
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 Hmm.
Oh, okay. Well, I always wanted to. I always, I guess, when it came to how music influenced my decisions is time management because I always wanted to find time to make music, but um, because even when I was working at with school, and then I was working a job, working at Amazon, 10-hour days, and on top of that, I would have to go to school. I think the best way is that music helped me manage my time better. So helps me make decisions when it comes to prioritizing certain things.
Okay. So let's talk about your music right now. Can you tell our audience what type of music you make, and just what 1 minute, and then I'm gonna play one of your songs, and then I want you to come back and explain that to the audience.
Yes, sir. All right. So the main genre of music I make is orchestral theme for movie trailers and just background music. I mainly use orchestral music like violin, strings, brass, percussion, and when it come to trailer music, I would use that those kind of instruments, including electronics, the certain type of stuff that you would hear in a movie trailer, in an action movie trailer. So I mainly stick to those two genres.
Wow. Okay. So I want one of the favorite songs I like is called it's from your piece called "This Land or Not." I'm gonna play this song, and I want you to come back and explain why you wrote this. What were you thinking, and It's great. So let's check that out first. Wow. Hey, first of all, can you tell our listeners the name of that song?
Hmm.
Tell them about the land, this land, Nas, and tell us what was going through your mind when you decided to write that song and put that piece together.
Okay, so the title of the song is called "Children of the Watchers," and what happened when I was creating the song is I remember when making that song. It was right after I watched, I believe it was Batman, the movie Batman. I heard the movie scenes, and I heard the music in the background really influenced a lot when it came to that song. So I want to make my own version of that song, a certain song I heard in Batman, and that's what I came up with. And I put it in trailer form. So I designed it like how a movie trailer would be, with the 3 act structure. And yeah, that's how I mainly came up with that.
So how many songs have you written? I done seen probably 100 of them with trailers, but how many have you written?
I honestly, it's over 100. I lost count at this point, but it's yeah. I just write, and I don't even know how much.
So, Josh, your inspiration, I know you mentioned that in you after you watched the movie Batman, you composed this piece. What type of environment do you have to be in to get your creative juices flowing? Do you need to be in a home by yourself? Do you care if it's loud noise? Like, how do you work best to create your music? And like, what type of atmosphere would you need to be involved in?
Okay, I would need to be mostly in a. I don't need to be in a room by myself. I just need to have really good headphones, and I would just need to. I mainly close my before I write a piece. I would just close my eyes and listen to certain types of like music I would like to create. So as long as I have like a few moments to myself
Mhm.
and listen to some songs, then yeah, that's what I'll be.
Do you have any favorite composers or people who write music that you can think of?
Yes, ma'am. First is Hans Zimmer. He's very famous composer. Um, John Williams. He created the Star Wars music. And Joe Blankenberg. I actually had the opportunity to interview him in school
Mhm.
for a project.
Wow. You know,
Hmm.
when you mentioned John Williams, he also did the theme for the movie Jaws back in the
Hmm.
day. That was an amazing theme. So, you know, your when you went to Cal State Poly Pomona and you took your music courses, did they kind of help you in your creative process when you compose your music? Did they teach you new things about music in general that you did not know? Can you kind of go into that?
Yes, ma'am. So I was mainly into the film side of composing music, but when I went to Cal Poly, they actually had a class on composing video game music, and I didn't think it would be much different, but it was a lot. It was a lot different because, and whenever you play games, it's not like linear where when you're watching a movie, the soundtrack there's like a set soundtrack. In games, the player makes the decisions, and that what alters the music in the background. So they taught us how to alter music, how to have one form of music and have it go to different variations within the same song.
Wow. So you are from, and I hate to say it like this, but it's true, a very talented family. Your brother is an artist, probably got about 11 albums out. Your oldest brother is a photographer,
Hmm.
videographist, and all of that. And your sister is totally talented artist as when it comes to drawing.
Hmm.
Did you inherit, or did you get? Was there some influence from watching your big brothers and your sister grow up and the things that they were doing? That did any of that help you out in choosing what you do? Because your genres and where you might write music is completely different than theirs.
Yes, I like how they had hobbies and passions. So I just had at the time I just had to find mine, and mine was music.
And so what is your plans with the music uh, right now? And I'm talking about you in the military. You know that should be your number one goal.
Hmm.
But I don't want you to lose track of that great gift that God has given you. And so, how are you planning on staying abreast and keeping up with the current ways of writing music? And also, not just that, but take those last three classes and finish up this degree. I mean, so how do you plan on doing that, son?
Yes, so this all falls back on the question that was answered is time management. Music taught me with time management. So no matter how hard things were, I always found time to make music. So with the military, even though I'm spending majority of my time, most of my energy on the military, I will still find time to create music on the side. I make sure all the my important stuff for the military is done, and then I will continue with my music. So I would just do that simultaneously.
Okay, that's a good question. Good question. I mean, yeah, good answer. You know what? I tell you, Pastor Pierce, we love you. I miss you, man. Uh, we're gonna take a station break, but we're gonna come back and we're gonna pick it up with Joshua Cooley. I'm so proud of my youngest son. So I tell you what, if you want to be part of this conversation, all you have to do is go to the comment section and ask this young man any question that you want to. It's your life. I'm Dr. James JC Cooley. We'll be back shortly after the break.
Life is a series of circles and cycles, phrases and stages. These experiences teach you the lessons of life. You can either ignore them or embrace them. Welcome to It's Your Life with James Cooley. James is a motivational speaker, author, military veteran, and founder of the JC Cooley Foundation. James is here to equip you to strive for greatness and overcome adversity. It's time to get you equipped today for the challenges of tomorrow. Now, here's the host of It's Your Life, James Cooley.
It's your life.
Hello, welcome back to the James Cooley Show. It's Your Life, and we got Joshua Alexander Cooley as our special guest today. And I tell you, even being his father, I'm learning things about this young man, and as he continued to mature and blossom and discover the talents that God has given him. Also, to understand that everything that you learn in life, you can utilize that to make you a better person. Josh, it's another song that I want to uh, play, and I want you to tell. It's another one of your songs that you created, and we're gonna play that song. And I want you to tell our audience what was you thinking about when you wrote that one as well. Okay, here we go. Wow. You know, can you tell our audience a little bit about the song? What's the name of that song, and why did you write it? And tell us the meaning of it.
Okay. Yeah, so the song is called All Weapons Drawn. And I created that song after watching a show that had similar sounding music to that. And in the show, it was about war. So I was very inspired by the soundtrack of that. So I created my own song about that had the same kind of energy when it came to the show.
How many different type of instruments that you put in creating that particular piece?
Okay, so it's an orchestra, so I have the string section, the brass, I have the percussion, and I have a little bit of the winds. So I'm gonna say uh 20 20 instruments within that track.
Wow. So, Josh, Looking back, or let me just put it this way, if you had a chance for a do-over in life, what would you do differently and why? So basically, also you can kind of view that question as what would you prioritize differently today that, lesson based on the lessons you learned in the
Mhm.
past?
Um, I wish, I honestly wish I joined the military earlier. In my opinion, um, I kind of because the reason I say that is because I think I would have learned a lot more, a lot. Well, that's a good question. I would say I would join the military a lot earlier because the benefits, and I would just be on a different path.
So yeah, I believe what you're trying to say. You would have joined earlier,
I
uh,
I should
but
have I shouldn't have waited so long, in my opinion.
yeah, but the thing is, son, is you're in there now. You're in
Hmm.
the military now,
Yes, sir.
and you can sit back and you can reflect on things that happened yesterday. But the best way that and best advice I can give you is go. You already there. Be the best that you can be. Give 110% in everything that you do. Um, you have to make right decisions because everybody that gonna want to hang out with you is not always the type of folks that you want to hang out with. If there is no vision, there's no understanding, there's no focus on getting to the next level. Like myself, for example, I wanted to make rank as fast as I could. In the beginning, I did not know how to do it, but it doesn't take a long time to figure that one out. You know, on who you should be around, who is the people in the room that knows more than you, where you can learn from them, and use past experience to think about always doing the right thing, even when the wrong thing is presented to you. So I think that you're on the right track, and I think that you are going to um, have a very successful career or whatever you decide to do. But right now you got 5.5 years to go. So what are your goals in the Navy? What do you plan on achieving from this?
Yeah. So one of my goals is, of course, become an officer. We had a discussion when I first got here, and it helped me realize that I should pursue the officer route. Another one of my goals is definitely learn my rate really well and be the best at my rate um, when it comes to the Navy. And I guess the last goal is get as many certifications, be as qualified as many things as possible.
So I believe that in doing those things, you making a promise to yourself now on film,
Hmm.
on television, and I think you got to live by those. I mean, so that means being able to um, take the time to do all your courses early. Just
Hmm.
like I was telling you day before yesterday, what I did when I was a third class, I did all my coursework. I'm talking about all the little things that I needed to do all the way through first class petty officer. So I did not have to rush and try to get those qualifications or any of those things in. The only thing I had to do was make sure I passed the test and got promoted, opposed to utilizing other times where it was wasted time. You got to take advantage of everything that you do, son. Every moment that you have, and you will have a lot of time aboard the ship. I mean, standing watches. You're gonna be in the middle of the water, but you can finish up your education. I think you can do it in 6 months or less. You can finish that up. You can get your surface warfare. You can get all of these things. You can do all of these things that's going to build a better life for you and get you focused. on whatever you decide to do in life. But it's going to take an effort from you in order for that to happen. So, what are your thoughts on that?
Yes, sir. I agree with everything that you said. Um,
So, I think we might have lost Josh for a second or so. He should be coming back, but uh, if he doesn't, are you back, Josh?
oh,
You got
I'm back. I'm back.
yes. Start over again. What you were saying. You got a minute.
Okay, yes. Yeah. So I was just gonna pursue, just continue to do what I was doing. I would persevere and focus on the things that I have to do for me to achieve my goals.
And so I believe that when you get to wherever you're going uh, next week, the first place that you need to entertain, I believe, is the Education Service Office. And go in there, uh, get out, take all your transcripts, take everything in there with you. And just like I said, you got over 150 credit hours, so you might already have that. But you have to get focused. If they tell you that you need other things, you need to get focused on that one because you won't have nothing but time in the fleet. So, what is one thing, 30 seconds or less, that you want our listeners and our viewers to take away from this great conversation with my youngest son?
Yes. One thing is I want to continue. I'm really looking forward to my military journey. I will continue to pursue my music career while simultaneously working to become an officer in the United States Navy.
Well, son, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on the show. And, Dad is always behind you, not just Dad, your mom, and all of us are always there with you. And, Michelle, you got anything you want to say?
No, I just want to, well, yes, just to say we're very proud of him, everything that he's positioned his life to be successful in what his meaning of success is. So we're very proud of you. We'll always be there for you. And, just thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you
Thank
for
you.
letting me go on the show.
Thank you for coming on the show. I always got to leave my audience and listeners with this thing that means so much to me. Always think out the box. Always understand that you got purpose. Most importantly, always dream big, think big, and be big at everything you do. We'll be back tomorrow, same time, same place. It's your life. I'm Dr. James JC Cooley.
Do you remember when we first met? I thought my eyes would fall straight out of my head. Guess we are living proof of love at first sight. But now we both see love in a different light. Keeping love alive is a tricky thing. You gotta let it fly, gotta give it wings. If you wanna make it right, lose and cry.
Another 30 seconds.